Set it up, Mo. Go ahead.
We back. Welcome back to the Moor Culture Podcast. This is episode 3, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, episode of understanding. Right, Mo? Yeah. So,
Powerful
made
number. 3 is a powerful number.
hey, Islam, and what a understanding, Mo. That's the best part, Mo. That's what you bring to fruition. And that's what we just had on Saturday was the Moor Culture Center come to fruition, the grand opening. We all were there. You stopped by for a little bit, Mo, but we were there the whole time. So we're going to inform you because I don't think you didn't hear a lot about it, honestly. We talked about this like today.
Got a little bit of the energy.
Mo, there's energy right now. That's why I'm so... Mo, there's still energy in here because even on Sunday, we had Cosmo Else and his delegation from New York. I met the brother. I wish I had some notes on. I should be more prepared, and I'm not good with names. This is why I'm not the best at the podcast because I be forgetting a lot of things. Right. I forgot about his name, but the Supreme Grand Governor from New York came down, and he was on fire. Yeah, and I think it's definitely because the energy. There's so much energy in here. That's right. And we had a small Sunday school. You know, it was just he brought 2 people with him, a Mo and a Moabitess and a Sheikist. I believe she's a Sheikist, but we had some fezzes and turbans in here, Mo. Nice. And it was beautiful, beautiful Sunday school with the Grand Governor orchestrating, as he normally does. So it was wonderful, and the energy already resonated from Saturday. We still felt it.
Shout out to that delegation too that came down on Sunday from New York. We appreciate the love. Shout out to everybody who came to the grand opening on April the 12th.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Much appreciated. The community showed out, and that's what it's for. Moors, it's our time. And we gotta grasp what is ours and take this opportunity to continue to grow. Islam.
The Mo that came on Sunday, the Grand Sheik, is Curtis Douglas L. Curtis Douglas L.
Islam.
I wish y'all was here for that. But either way, I know you feel the energy still. And you saw the picture. It was a good reflection. We posted. Oh, yes. There was interviews. Some powerful Mo's. Shamel. And once again, bad with names. Oh, but the Yolanda Young Bay.
Yes. Shout out to the Young Bay.
Islam. Husband.
And the husband, yes, Islam.
Joseph. What's
Joseph? Yep. Islam. Yeah, shout out to Richard's Wall and his wife as well. They came out. We appreciate that. We hope to collab with you both.
We will. We will.
Matter of fact, mashallah, we will be collabing with you both. Islam. Abundance Child. Shout out to Abundance Child. She brought food and her husband came. That brother's a vocal coach, by the way. Shout out to him. The food, though, that Abundance came with, thank you for that. That was much appreciated as well. The rice, the curry chickpeas. Cornbread. Alhamdulillah.
I tell you what. Oh, I got it. I got a little bit left. No, so we donated a lot of food to the Christian or the Sunday
mission.
Sunday mission. Yeah, we dropped off a lot of food. Indeed. Not the chickpea curry. We didn't drop off the chickpea curry. We did not drop off the chick. All right, Sister Hans, you need a microphone.
Sister Harris, come here. Come here, say it.
I would like to thank all the sisters and the brothers for the beautiful event we had on Saturday. We had a beautiful time. It was a lot of people came, and it was open to the public. So anyone that feel like they want to come is free. There is no charge.
Sister Hajj, beautiful demonstration. Thank you for hopping on for a second. I think another beautiful moment I remember was in the music studio, Mo.
Oh yeah,
and I have video of that, and I can't wait to show that.
That was lovely, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. The young brother that came in there, Moses, that's his name. Yeah, he was ready to learn. I was showing him how to make beats. Actually, I was teaching him about transitions. And, it's funny, as I was, demonstrating to him, I was trying to get him to understand that each sound builds the beat. But ultimately, all of the sounds are one.
Yes, man.
Islam, and that's how it came out too. When I was talking to him, and he was just looking at me so amazed. I was amazed. I couldn't believe what I said. You know what I mean, but
this came out.
It just came out that way. But it was good though. He was able to make the correlation of touching the drum pads, understanding that the keys were where the actual sounds were coming from. And he was just, happy about being able to see it while someone's doing it, and giving him a demonstration on how to do it. His grandfather was in there too. Joseph Young Bay, he was in there videotaping it. He got little bars on there. He got little bars on his video. You know what I mean? But shout out to them, Islam.
Did you record anything? Did you record any?
No, I didn't record it.
Okay,
no, I didn't.
We have some on video. No, we have some on video. I'm saying that you record the audio.
Oh,
or you're saying you recorded some video?
No, but he did record video of what I was doing when I was in there.
Islam.
It's on Facebook. He posted it. Right. As it builds. Yeah, as it builds.
Wow.
That's what I was showing the young Moses. I was showing him that, you can start it however you want to start it. You can start with a bass line. You can start with a keyboard. You can start with a hi-hat. It doesn't really matter how you start. It's just how you finish. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it all goes together. To me though, that's what it's all about. We trying to teach the youth. We trying to give the youth what they need so that they can be out in this world and succeed.
Islam,
be
industrious,
exactly,
productive.
Stop locking away the secrets, and we're gonna get the keys and open those doors and give them the secrets. Because that's really what it is. It's just that we are not able to give it to our own. And see, this is what the Moor Culture Center is about, making sure that we give it to our own, because a lot of our brothers and sisters are not getting it.
Mentorship.
Yeah. And I didn't get a chance to do that too much on Saturday, but I do plan on with the photo studio. We're gonna have classes. We're gonna have free training for children. All you got to do is, if the parents are able,
right,
donate to the center. Right, a minimum $1, just at least $1. Just get it. You can get a class. You can learn from a real life photographer. I'll be in the morning in New Jersey taking pictures of a politician. Can't name the names right now yet, but from a professional photographer, come get lessons. I'm going to show you how you can capture light. We talked about this already on the first episode, but learn how to produce music.
That's right.
We have other things, so we just want to show even adults, obviously, because even the parents can look over the shoulder, and we want everybody. We want to uplift all humanity, period, and raise the whole community up.
Indeed.
So, big things to come. Really big things to come. This is the main topic of the episode, was building institutions. We're building a Moor Culture Center, because in reality it's not built, it's building. This was just, the Saturday was a grand opening. That was just the first brick.
Yep.
That's all that was. That was the first brick. There's a pyramid right there. I got it on my chest right here, so I put it on.
Yep.
That was just the first brick. That pyramid was not built in a day. And not even to mention, we got in this building, Mo, a month before grand opening. We've only been in here a month. We was in here 30 days. And then we had grand opening, and we have everything on the walls. We have products. What? Hold on, take a sip real quick and let me know what you're sipping on.
It was good to me. I just drank it.
What's that? What that is?
Tea.
Oh, that's some tea. Come get you some tea. We made some tea in 30 days. We done came up with tea blends. Got some herbs. We have it brewed up already, bottled up, cold, iced, or get your tea bags. We got some healing teas for you. We have books. We have knowledge. We have the Moorish Times. We have the newest edition of the Moorish Times. That's what the delegation from New York came with. That's what Brother Curtis Douglas L. came with. He came with another stack of Moorish Times. So we saw a couple on Saturday. We already ordered a couple, or 25. We already ordered a stack of Moorish Times from New York, and they came and brought us some more. So you need your Moorish Times, and especially if you're in the area, come up to the Moor Culture Center. We got it on deck for you.
Keep telling people, man, once you know your purpose, can't nothing stop you. And that's what it is right here. We know our purpose. We know what we're supposed to do. And that's why all the good vibes and the positive energy is coming. So come all the Asiatics.
Learn your history.
Indeed.
Building institutions. Once again, it's only been 30 days we were doing this. You helped. We all helped, obviously. What was just to help shed light on, because everybody's building institutions right now. Richard Raw just got a location as well. Shout out to Richard Raw building his cultural center as well.
Indeed.
You need as many as possible. When you're driving down the street, you see McDonald's and Burger King across the street from each other.
Right.
And they are both successful.
Yes, they are. Selling the same junk.
Islam. So there's no reason why we can't have a culture center on one corner and a culture center on another corner. There's no reason why we can't do the same exact thing, Mo.
That's right. And that's the path we trying to take. We trying to show everyone that it's all about unity.
Islam.
Unity.
Islam.
UNITY.
So
indeed, and love.
So that I think you answered the question before I was even able to answer it, because before I was able to ask it, I was going to say, like, what was the hardest thing, or what can we say to people that are building institutions? What do we need to think about? Like, what should they be thinking about to cross that first step to really cross the hurdle and get to the finish line? And that's I mean, if you go on our website, you'll see we have a page called Our Economy. And that's kind of what it's about. It's like we're coming together. And even if you're a child, if you make jewelry, my daughter makes jewelry, so it won't be a matter. It's going to be a matter of time before her bracelets are going to be sitting in the front of our location.
Indeed.
So Sister Haja is going to bring some jewelry. Sister Haja is going to bring some jewelry. But the point is, if you have a child that wants to start something, come here. We will mentor. We will show you. Isn't it? I don't only know, but I know I'm only talking about. I know photo. I know video. But there's a lot more that I know than that. I do graphic design, obviously. I do website design. I do graphic design. Social media marketing. So I know that's not social media is like it's tough to talk about because it's powerful. It's hurting a lot of people.
The way you use it.
It's how you use it. Exactly. It's how you use it. So, come in and learn how we can use it for good. And how you can use it to promote positive things, because we're on the internet now. We're on the internet now. We're on social media now.
That's right.
That's what we're doing. But we're shedding light. We're not on the internet talking to bull stuff. We're not in there popping balloons and subjecting women. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing that. Right. So there is a way to use social media for good.
That's right.
Islam. So, and I can show you how to spread that message. We have. A small number now to an extent, but in reality, we don't. We've had hundreds of views already from the first episode. Just from the first, we had hundreds of views. And that's because I know how to get it out there. We just organically. I didn't pay for anything yet, but once we have some more money come in, it don't take nothing but paying social media, paying for some ads. Yeah. That's normal. That's how business works. You pay for advertising. Yeah. You pay for marketing. You pay for a billboard. You pay for this. Yeah. It don't take nothing but a couple of dollars to pay to Facebook. Do the right targeting, and you can show and blast your message. Yeah. You can show your comic books that you're making. You can show your song that you made. You can show your music video, or you can show your jewelry that you're making. You can show your tea. Soon you will see some ads for our teas because we got to sell it, and we have to get it out there. It's going to be on the website very soon. And once it's there, the markup is good enough on the tea for us to be able to pay a little bit on ads. As long as we're getting sales, it's going to work itself out. And now we're making money for the temple. These are non-profit teas, Mo. Right. These are profits, non-profits tea. Indeed. That's exactly what they are. They're the profits, non-profits teas, because the money that comes in benefits the center. It goes back into what's happening here, so we can spread light to the children, so we can spread light to the community. We're handing out food to the community. We are handing out socks and stuff during the cold months. Yep. We're handing out jackets and toys and stuff. We're collecting that stuff for the winter months, and we're shedding light. So buying things like books. You not only are you getting, or even a tea, for like buying things like a book or buying things like a tea. Yeah, you're exchanging commerce, but you're getting a resource for yourself that is necessary. Yeah, you need books.
We got the books too, by the way.
You need herbs.
You do.
And the reason why it's called holy breath, the main ingredient in it is mullein, and mullein is very good for the lungs, very good for respiratory. So. But there's other things like olive leaf, which the prophet, to my understanding, this is what Yolanda Bay told me, and Yolanda Young Bay. I believe, I trust her word. She told me that I doubt she would lie to me. She said that the prophet talked very highly of olive leaf. Oh yeah. So we made sure. Now, when I looked it up, and I seen the studies that have been done on it, and seen how it's been used in ancient times, and the oral history has been passed down on how the olive leaf has been used. Yeah. It's like Islam. There's
that giving that lemon leaf.
Oh, I don't know if that's giving out their taste. There's Holy Breath has at least 5 or 6 different herbs in it. So I'm not sure what's giving it a lemon taste. I really wonder. I don't know if it's mullein, but hibiscus is turning it red, and hibiscus has a little bit of a sweet taste, so that's why you're okay drinking it without honey.
No,
The hibiscus gives it a nice kind of sweet kind of taste because hibiscus is a flower, bright red flower.
it is. Yeah.
And Islam, it has a little bit of sweetness to a little bit tart.
Taste the lemon, like a little lemon, like
What's that, sister? Dandelion. There might be dandelion root in this. I think our other blends have dandelion root, or some of our detox blends. We have dandelion root. I don't know if we have dandelion root in this one, but we have dandelion root right in this temple. Not to mention that here's another thing. This tea is blended and made all right here in this right here.
Say it again. Made right here.
I refuse at this point. At least we'll figure out in the future if it gets that big. But I really don't want to make and brew these things or blend these things anywhere besides a place where we're in a good state of mind.
Indeed.
We're in good spirit.
That's right.
And Islam, when I'm in here,
allow.
That is exactly what I'm in. I'm in good spirit when I see the prophet's picture. When I know that we've done our ceremonies in here. When I know that the intention of this circle, of this square, the intention of it. When I know that, I know that I'm making these blends with love, truth, peace,
freedom,
and
justice. Islam. So Mo, we want to bust your brain a little bit, Mo. You know, since we on the topic institutions, right? We want to give the people an understanding of why it's important to teach your own. Meaning, yes, not just us as a community, as a people, but I'm talking about your daughters and your sons, your children, right? Give them a little insight on why it's important for the parents to teach their children.
Yeah, me personally, I homeschool my children, so I take like great pride in that. You know, it actually was a while before I actually did it, but I was more or less hidden that way based off the fact of what was taking place, like in public school to some degree. More culturally, I have a freedom to, teach my children a deeper understanding about my culture than they would in, going to public school. And, it feels good because, it's things that, it gives them like some pride in themselves. You know what I mean? It gives them a sense of like well knowing themselves. Like, when I was in school, I felt confused, honestly, and I wasn't the greatest a student at all. But the reality to that is just I couldn't culturally connect with a lot of things in school and public school. So for them reasons alone, I kind of I chose to say, listen, I needed to kind of take a sense of responsibility for my children in that way, like culturally, and to let them know that they are they are part of some of the things that are talked about in school that more or less seem like we don't partake in.
Right, like we ain't a part of it.
So
right.
It was, for learning about, my personal history and, history of the world. It's like, okay, like our people kind of touch base on a lot of things. I actually was going over with my children about, and normally you learn, you go to school, you start learning about Aristotle, Plato and all that. And I was expressing to my children pretty much, our people played a part.
We taught them. Islam.
In the aspect of teaching back and also actually disseminating to the rest of the world. And, my children was looking at me like, what you mean about in terms of disseminating to the rest of the world? I said, well, during the time period when Europe, had control of, consider like, oh, they great philosophers and stuff like that. Then the Dark Ages came. I said, with that, a lot of knowledge was gone. Like, and I don't want to say it like this, but it is like this. In many ways, having Plato, Aristotle in schools and colleges today it's the Muslims should get credit for that, because they the ones who preserve that information. And the books that you are getting now that talk about Aristotle, Plato, was actually retranslated from the Arab to back to the Greek into English now, because they let all that information fall. And the Muslims at that time, and they had great sense of a drive for knowledge. And correct me if I'm wrong, it was a saying that I heard that Prophet Muhammad said that even if he had to go unto China to get some information and learn, go do that.
Indeed.
So with that, and looking at that history, and looking at that, our people took part of that. Even going back, like I know Brother Cornel gonna say, well, the Greeks and them got their stuff for Kemet.
The Kemites, exactly. I was waiting.
And so, because in that time period, even Greek was looking at Aristotle and Plato like they was crazy, bringing foreign philosophies into our system, but hold and behold, this information had some great depth to it, and we should be thankful that the Muslims of that time was strongly trying to gravitate to, hey, let's get knowledge from everywhere, just put it all together. So that's one key reason.
Yeah, that's how they was able to create universities and colleges. Yeah, absolutely.
The first universities, the first colleges, absolutely.
We wouldn't, like I said, my children wouldn't know too much about that particular aspect of history if I wasn't homeschooling them.
Right.
So I could take some pride in saying, okay, I want to teach you about Aristotle, you know what I mean, or Plato, without feeling like my children don't have no connection. They just, it's just a Greek thing. It wasn't really that. And I love the excitement that my children get from learning this, deep history
and knowledge of self.
Yeah. So, another thing too, a lot of Europeans that I meet, they talk about homeschooling in children. They definitely be like, when I said I did, like, yeah, I homeschool my children too. And it's not pushing down public school, because public school has its place, because, the formation of that institution came based off a situation where the kids who was in poverty wasn't getting education. And, since it was starting to be the industrial age, they like, listen, we need people to understand how to function if we want to grow this nation at the time, so, public school came out of that aspect of saying, hey, we're going to, set up an institution where we can teach your kids. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, the philosophy of the blueprint they took, from what my understanding was actually from Germany at the time, to construct a blueprint for public school. In retrospect, how they was systematically teaching people and all that. Not saying it was a total good thing, but the reality, it is what it is. But as a parent, you have to take control of your children's education, no matter where they're at home or in public school. And like my brother Cornel, like his children, are seen absolutely well in public school. Based off the fact he
teach
them at home.
I'm giving them what they need so they know how to deal with what they get at these public schools. They know how to decipher the real from the fake. They understand what is and what isn't. They come home and they talk about what they do or what they learn, but then they also say, "Hey, Dad, but I already knew that." They just wasn't saying it right. And it's like that's what makes me feel good, because don't just take what the teachers say. You know what I mean? But you got to start young with that, though. You can't wait with that. And that's one thing that I'm grateful for, that I was able to catch them young with knowledge of self. They was at the temple at what, 4 or 5? They was in there taking their little nationality cards and all that, you know? I taught them how to speak, how to step up and speak, stand on your square.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did that early. And, you know, a lot of people that, you know, I know, or even family members, sometimes think that I be going off the top. You know, they be looking at me like I'm crazy. But look at me, I'm not crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to instill the knowledge of self in your children in order for them to grow and to prosper. And that's one thing that I learned, you know. I mean, my background and my situation growing up, you know, that's what I was lacking. I didn't get the proper knowledge of self that I needed, but I always was yearning for it, you know. You know, I was, you know, everybody make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, back in the day, I used to be the one that was on the corner. I used to be the one that was on the block, but I still didn't stop speaking about knowledge of self. So that's what was so wild about it. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
That it was just in me to always talk about that. I'm talking about brothers would actually sit down and listen to me while we sitting there drinking 40s or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does brother talk about Egypt? Why does brother always talk about that, man? You know, like, it would really irritate brothers, but it wasn't irritating. I was catching their soul, and they was like, "Wow, I gotta get out of here."
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, I gotta go around the corner.
You're agitating,
Yeah.
agitating the programming that they have,
Exactly.
and it's like they're shaking them up a little bit, because that's not what they was taught. They was taught they was taught to be a certain way, and they wasn't taught to be that way, Mo.
You know, but yeah, though, man.
So you're sending your children to school with like you said, on a square, on a foundation. The foundation starts at the home. Whether you are sending them to the public school or not, the foundation has to start at home.
That's right.
You can't just rely on the school and just be like it bothers me when people say, "Oh, the school failed them. The school failed." No, you failed them, because the school is just a part of, and it should only be a part of their life, and this is why I have homeschooled my children in the past. I'm going to start homeschooling again this coming year, and it's because it's too much time. Like there's too much time there, because we're going to use institutions. Right. We have an institution we're building here.
Right.
There's other institutions that I'm going to be using. So it's not that I don't
do it.
Yeah. And it's not that we shouldn't use a school, or you go and bring your child to an institution. It's just, what institution is it? Because there's a lot of institutions now, and there's a lot of people that are homeschooling. There's co-ops that are coming together. Yeah. There's organizations, and there's even schools that are just like, hey, I'll come here and I'll teach just math. Right. Come here and I'll teach just history. Come here and I'll teach just science. Come here and I'll teach just art. We can go different places, because the traditional public schooling, to my opinion, my understanding, for my situation, too much time is taken up. Too much time is taken up with nonsense, and it's like we could have learned the same amount of stuff, real stuff that you learned there, in a less amount of time, if we were to take control and find it. And it's a lot more work, it's a lot more money, but if you're in that situation to be able to do that, the reason why you're able to homeschool is because you have a wife that is home. You have a home wife, so it's like you're able to have a parent in the house to make sure that, you know, they're transported to different places, that they're able to do what they got to do.
So I watch sometimes. So let's take, for instance, schools that are not doing anything will let you rent their space, right? Certain schools in the red clay district will let you rent their space, right? And, you know, take, for instance, Stanton. I know sometimes when we drive past on the weekends, it's a bunch of cars there. It's a bunch of people there. I'm like, what's going on? What they doing, right? You know? And come to find out, it's a bunch of Asiatic people that are teaching school a bunch of Indian descent, right? The whole school is being rent out, like the first floors. And you can see actual like classes in each room where it's students, and I'm like, what is going on? And then come to find out, that's what it was. They're able to rent the space out, and what they're doing is teaching. They're doing their own teaching. You understand what I'm saying? Which is cool, but I just thought that was interesting. So it's not something that's unbelievable that we can't do or that we shouldn't be doing. No, we can do it, and we in a country where you are able to do it, so you should do it. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong either, though. I also like the public school aspect too, because socializing.
Islam.
Children need to learn how to socialize. Don't matter what nationality you are, you need to be able to talk to another human.
Islam.
You understand? I mean, right now we got so much technology, and I know I just said that if you use it the right way, it's fine. But our youth is not using it the right way. It's exposing their essence. It's exposing their preciousness, and that's not what we should be letting them do. I mean, from my perspective. So that's one of my main reasons why I'm like, yeah, public school don't have the right education, but you got to learn how public school started. AI, the DuPonts, they purchased all of the education in the state and gave it to the people. So you wonder why certain stuff is getting out in certain schools within the state, because certain people who had the money purchased it and gave it to you.
Islam. Well, so I love that, by the way, because you are using the school for good. Like I said, you're using it for good. You are letting the school be a way for them to socialize, for them to learn about other people, the other cultures, because there is a too much of a protectiveness to how traditional homeschooling is done.
Right.
And this is once again why I don't like the word homeschooling. I like the universal schooling.
Right.
Because when you register your homeschool in Delaware, you have to come up with a name, and to come up with a name. So I was the New School of Universal Learning. NU being new being school, universal learning. And it's because it's not just that, and it's like we have to be mindful of how you socialize your children, other places you're taking them, other doing other things, having social groups, having a friend group, having all kind of activities.
That's right.
Yeah, right. But you're letting the school be that, and you're also, once again, you're setting them there with a foundation that they're not walking in there, and that you're not letting the school be the only teacher.
That's right.
Like there's some parents that are like, it's their job to teach my child.
No,
like no, it's
daycare.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a daycare. Like you drop them off and you pick them up, and then you go home, you feed them, they go to bed, and like that was it. Like the only learning they're getting is in the school, and that's when your child is being failed, because you can't just rely on the school unless you're okay with your child just being like everybody else. Let them just go through the blueprint. Zombie. Yeah, because the system is designed for them to push them somewhere. And like Sister Haj is saying, is for a lot of children, especially Asiatic children in this country, they look at us. They said, "You really know how the country has started.
Mm-hmm.
It's a prison. It's a school to prison pipeline.
You said it's a system.
It's a system.
That's right.
Because the young Asiatic boys are so wound up. They're like, all right, throw some pills at them. I can't handle them.
That's right. They're crazy.
They're crazy.
What's the word? They got what they call it?
ADHD. Yeah. It's like it's an epidemic, Mo. It's an epidemic. There is.
Right.
It is, and you know what? It is a chemical imbalance.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, there is an imbalance in the chemicals, and we can do things naturally. We can do things to fix the chemicals just by putting your feet in the ground, just by going outside and looking at the sun, or they say don't look at it, or just being in the sun.
Right.
Just being in the sun, your chemicals, they rebalance. Just being outside, the number one cure, they say, for the first thing they say when you're depressed, go outside. Right. Like that's the first thing they say. Go outside.
Put some sun on your face.
Yeah. and then when you do the science,
Yep.
That's what it is. Vitamin D.
Vitamin D. That's right.
That is a vitamin, Mo.
That's right, Mo.
This is science. It's
simple
not,
stuff.
It's
man.
simple.
Right.
It's simple. So it's not just like you expect. Like, why is he so wound up? Well, because you told him to sit in his chair for 45 minutes, for an hour, for 4 hours. That's not what he should be doing.
No.
But they say trigger only retain about 15 minutes.
I only retain. I can't say it's hard, Mo. I mean, here. That's why. This is why I haven't memorized my lessons yet.
Right.
Because it's like after 15 minutes, I'm like, all right, what? Like, all right, I gotta get back to this tomorrow because there's just so much going on. There's so much going on, Mo. And you know, I probably should have been trained better as a child or something. It's because obedience is a learned trait to an extent. You know, like at a young age, you got to try to teach your child it's okay to be bored. Mm-hmm. It's okay to sit still.
Right. It's okay to read. You can open a book. It's all right.
Just go.
You know,
go outside and chill.
Run around,
do whatever.
Go play in the grass. You know, go ride your bike.
You don't have to have a toy, and you don't have to have a electronic or a game or anything. You can make up a game with it. I mean, I was in Dominican Republic, and that was the first time I really noticed real crazy poverty when I went out the country and went to like the resort town, and you're seeing real poverty, like extreme poverty, and like the children are happy though. They're outside with rocks. They're like, I'm cool. Like,
they'll pick up that lizard like it's nothing too. Like, here you go, look at this.
They're fine. Like, I understand. If they're hungry, that's a different story. But they are content because they have everything they need. Everything he needs is within anyway. And we've all been through as children. We grew up in an age. We're not, some of these newer generations a little bit different, but we come from an age where we were bored. Right. We had to make up things.
You had to go do something.
Just go in our
use your imagination. Yeah, look, I knew some jokers, they ain't know nothing past they block.
That's wild.
Be real. And when you coming up like that,
you're basically in prison. Basically, almost that's prison.
Come on, man.
That's prison.
You don't even think it's nothing else out there.
That's prison.
You leave it, you're shook. That's a shame, man. You know what I mean? Like, and just because you in that environment doesn't mean you got to think like that. Doesn't mean you got to be like that. And that's what I was trying to say. Like, you have individuals that are in environments like this, children that are in environments like this, but they have it, but they keep getting shut down because everybody around them think that they weird because they not doing the same thing that they doing. Nah, you're not weird, bro. We had a great grand opening.
Yeah.
We trying to, build an institution.
Mm-hmm. We are building an institution.
That's right. We are building. We are building an institution, and we want all you Asiatics to come on down, keep on coming, keep supporting. Saturday was beautiful. All the love, all the positive energy is still here. Shout out to the brother Ty Shan. Shout out to the brother George. Shout out to the Sheikas. Hajanika Bay. Islam. Shout out to the Grand Governor, Howard Bay, Islam.
Islam, I want to thank all of our ancestors, known and unknown, worldwide. Thank you for laying the foundation down for us. Wasn't for y'all, none of us wouldn't be here today. And I would also like to thank Proper Nova Dualit for giving us the knowledge. You need to learn your history. Peacing up.
I think that's it. I think that was a close. Should we even say anything else? Well, no, I think, moorculturecenter.com, 715 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware.
Indeed.
Islam. You're all welcome.
Everybody's welcome. Shout out to Marcus Messiah Garvey. This is Garvey City.
This is Garvey City. Let it be known.
Islam.
Let it be known. Let it be known. Let it be known. And this is why institution building is important. And that's the topic of the day. And I think we hit it very well.
Indeed.
I think we hit it very well. So until next time.
Till next time. Peace and love.
Peace and love, everyone.
Islam. Peace.
Islam.